What's up? Happy Voters Day. Happy America, right? It's today is a day where everybody should have voted. That's eligible to vote, regardless of your political beliefs. But whatever. It's the Hoof Podcast. It's the Hoof Live. Coming at you on a Tuesday night.
Back at it, baby.
Election edition. I know now. I know.
Oh, there it is.
A lot of people.
Alan Diggs 2020, baby.
Right? No, that's who got my vote. That's who
Uncle
got my
Sam,
vote.
baby. Uncle Sam. We should have wore a hat.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, Election Day doesn't really have a mascot like the other holidays, you know, Santa Claus.
Well,
turkey.
it's not a holiday, unfortunately. It should be.
It should
And then
be.
we really would get people out to vote.
But I guess it's Uncle Sam, though.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Mascot for America, although he might claim 4th of July. So
Should have got a hat.
Who designed Uncle Sam? That's what I want to know. Who drew that fool up?
That goes way back.
Huh? Question of the night. Question of the
1700s, I
night.
think.
Yeah, who knows? But
Hey,
Could have did like an Uncle Cam, maybe. Thank you for giving us that game.
yeah, right. Da, 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 da.
Delivering us the game. Thank you.
Ooh.
yeah, right. But
Cam Newton gets the L. Bills
Hey,
get the W by default.
it definitely feels nice to very nice. It feels nice to come in here on a 2-game win streak on a Tuesday. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to say the same after this weekend, but we'll get into the Seahawks and everything that's coming Sunday. But we are 6-2. All right, we can't hate on that. 6-2. I mean, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. But anyway, Anthony, what's going on,
baby?
Anthony Romeo, the doctor, the man in the suit, the hype
Feeling
man,
good.
the homer.
Feeling good. Got a lot to talk about today, though, because that New England game, if you tuned in for the show, we got the W. Wins are all that matters. We got the W. That counts. That's it. That's all that matters. We're undefeated in the division. That's what matters right now. We're 6-2, top of the world. But damn, we have got to improve on some things because there are a lot of things that did go wrong in this game, and we gave up 21 points to a very crappy team that should have not scored a single point on us, but a lot to get into. But the bottom line, win's a win, baby. Win is a win.
Hold on to that. Hold on to all of that.
Let's go.
Bring it.
Bring the excitement.
Say, let it out.
Eric, what's up, dude? You've been like, hit or miss. Me and Anthony had to rock the ship lately.
I know.
You're down there, up there in back in New York, man.
We'll ice your back. We'll get you to a chiropractor for carrying the team, but I had to move across the country. That's really difficult, especially during 2020, during a pandemic. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but we're back.
Hey,
we got settled in and starting to get a groove again. So
you decided to move where everybody's moving from.
That's true. More people leave New York, but
yeah.
Hey,
we love New York. New York, all the love goes to New York for sure. Even though you're there, so I'm obviously gonna have to come visit. But I ain't quarantining for 2 weeks, so whenever that gets sorted out, then I'll come visit you. But
very much else to do. So,
dude, I'm losing it here. But anyway, man, this is the we're on the Cover One Network. As for those of you guys who don't know, Cover One, we are a damn good network, man. We got a lot of stuff going on all the time. I talk at length about our guys. We put in massive work each and every week to bring you guys. We want to bring you guys the best Bills content available. So that's what we do. But hey, before we even jump into all this, man, let's give some shout outs to some of the peeps that are in the chat room. Chris Teroni, what's good, man? Dunny Martin. Hey, I see you over there, Dunny. Thanks for watching the show. Rasheed Walters. Yo, what's good, my dude? And my guy, Lone Wolf. Yo. So anyway, man, the Tuesday special edition, election edition.
There you go.
Is underway. So, fellas, I mean, we did get the W on Sunday. But y'all already know how we do it around here. So we have our topics for those of you who have not watched the show or been a part of the show. We're on to Seattle.
I love it.
However, we do have some things to take care of. This is the first segment of the night. What's popping? This is where we go around the NFL to see what's popping. You know, there's always the latest and the greatest hot topics around the league, and we like to discuss those with you guys. So again, our guys have not seen what these topics are. And fellas, are you ready to go?
Let's go, baby. What do you got for us?
All right, here we go. No smoke, no fire, nothing at the trade deadline. This is a trade deadline that's been absolutely weak sauce. Okay. What the hell's going on? Why aren't people making moves?
I mean, this is exactly what I predicted to happen on our Friday show when we talked about cash or trash. Is New England going to have a fire sale, or we talked about all the bigger names being out there and everything. Tons of hype. This is what the NFL does, right? For the NFL trade deadline. Tons of hype. Teams allegedly dangling guys out there, big names to be had. And you know, who's out there and whatever. And nobody gets traded and nothing happens. And the deadline comes and goes. And then trades happen in the offseason. That's the way the NFL works. So, you know, Stephon Gilmore didn't get traded. That's not a surprise to me. Will he get traded in the offseason? Maybe, probably. I think so. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not surprising. It's what I expected. The NFL is all hype and no action when it comes to the trade deadline. I wish the Bills made a move. Obviously, we were hoping for some upgrade anywhere, but to be honest, anything would have helped. I know you posted, Sterling, about bringing in a tight end and Njoku maybe, and you know, that seemed like crazy. I was just hoping for defense, a defensive tackle or a cornerback or a linebacker just for depth help. They did make a couple moves, but nothing that's going to exactly set the world on fire or push us hugely in one direction or the other. So we'll see. But to me, this is exactly what the NFL to expect from the NFL when it comes to trading.
Eric, spit.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody available to trade for that's really worth anything. And personally, the team's 6-2. You're in a good position. The division's weaker. Who are you going to go get? You say tight end. Look, I don't think tight end is part of this offense. They have 20 receptions in 8 games. I mean, they're just not part of the offense as like we thought they would be. You know, I thought maybe Dawson Knox would have a coming out year, but you know, they go 10 personnel. They don't really use the tight end a lot. So I mean, to me, that would be a waste of a draft pick to get a tight end on this offense that doesn't use one. If you could find a pass rusher, that's probably one of the bigger needs. But you know, great pass rushers in the league, or even good pass rushers, just teams don't get rid of them. They're not available. So I say keep the draft picks and let's just keep building next year.
Well, let me explain why I threw out David Njoku, because just so there's not any confusion out there, and I understand that the Bills run a lot of 10 personnel, right? But however, David Njoku can line up. I mean, he's
a freak,
athletic, and I mean, you can line him up as a move tight end, and I mean, there's so many things that you can do with someone like that. And right now, we just don't have. He doesn't have a reliable target in the tight end room. I think having a pure.
They're not using him a lot in Cleveland either.
Well, they're stacked. They're buried, and he wants to go.
He's not good enough to be even 1 or 2.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's a matter of necessarily his skill. I think his injury history is a part of the concern. And I think they spent a lot of money at the tight end position this last offseason, and he's still on a rookie contract. So, you know, their idea is to move on from him, and that's their prerogative. But that you don't. I mean, no one out there can tell me that David Njoku wouldn't be a solid move. I mean, like I said, he could be half or a 5th or 6th round pick, and that's not really hurting you.
I was just about to say the trades we did see. I mean, who was the biggest player traded? Maybe the cornerback from the Chargers, King, right? A 6th round pick. I was like, what? The Bills couldn't offer a 5th round pick? I would take him for that, like crazy. You know, the original expected asking price was like a 4th round pick. They got a 6th. I'm like, really?
I don't think the
you know who that. Hey, you know who that is?
It's a friend of mine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like,
yeah, she's tuning in. Yeah.
You sure it's not a robot?
I was like, damn, dog, you gotta like that, huh? You gotta like that.
Hey, you know.
I mean, it comes.
People tune in to see other people, right?
Hey, it comes with the suit, man. But I felt like, guys like Dalvin Tomlinson and those one tech defensive tackles that we were all hoping for.
I know.
I don't think that Brandon Beane would have gotten to a bidding war with some of the teams that, if the trade deadline was going to be.
You mean you didn't call them back and say, hey, we'll give you a fifth. We need something there.
Right. Yeah. I just don't understand. I don't know, man.
I get it.
They could have made it happen.
Right. Beane likes his picks. And you know what? That's what I'm sick of. I don't want to hear this shit in the offseason about, oh, well, we made a lot of calls and we were in on the conversation. No, you didn't do anything. Screw you. If somebody ends up being a star or who was traded or wasn't traded, and you're like, oh, well, we were in talks for Stephon Diggs at the trade deadline last year. Great. You didn't get him, so it's worthless. You didn't do anything about it, so it's worthless. And that's where I felt like this was the team where maybe a move could be a good thing. Maybe something on that defense gives that defense a boost, even if it isn't a big shocking name or anything. I'm not talking J.J. Watt. I'm talking, any of the defensive linemen. Just change it up, get some new energy in there, give them a little shot in the arm, something. But they chose to do nothing yet again.
Well, I guess their shot in the arm is considered Daryl Worley and Darren Lee.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. They made those moves, but not exactly lighting the world on fire. Although at this point, I'll take anybody over AJ Klein. So just please, God, get that man off the field. Please, God.
Already in the chat, yeah, we do need to sit Klein down.
Yeah, definitely
Klein. So I rewatched the game today, and Klein, it's not instinctual. He knows where he's supposed to be. It's athleticism. He doesn't have it. I mean, he just can't play in the NFL right now. It's done. I mean, maybe NFL 10 years ago, he'd probably be a solid contributor at linebacker, but he can't do it. He can't.
Yeah, I mean, he was, and it's not just this game either, right? I mean, we've been saying this for a while. Like, Klein looks terrible. He's a liability out there. They're throwing and running at him, everything, targeting him on the field. And then in this game, like, the comment you put up, he can't tackle air. He's right in front of the guy, and he somehow doesn't even touch him. I'm like, what in the hell? At this point, it's not about your talent level. I don't care. Give one of the practice squad guys a chance, right? Put somebody else out there because he's a liability, period, and they're going after him, period. Let somebody else see if they can do it because that defense was disgustingly bad in this game, and a big part of it was because of him, AJ Klein. And I'm sick of seeing him on the field. Get rid of him.
I feel like there's a lot of players like that. This run defense definitely gets pushed around. It
does.
Week in and week out, and it does. Going on a few years now.
Why not make a trade?
Just don't have the dogs this year like they had in the past, in my opinion. And then I don't think the reason you make a trade, I just don't like name one player off the top of your head who has come in midseason in a trade and had a huge impact on a really good team.
Minka Fitzpatrick. Yeah, okay. Those guys do exist. I mean, you can make
a player like that becoming available, and they gave up what, 2 firsts?
No, just one first.
They gave up a lot to get him. Yeah, and those players just aren't available all the time.
You can get a Minka
Fitzpatrick, sure, that's a different level.
That's not my point. You don't
you're saying 5th or 6th round pick. You're not going to get anybody that can make a huge impact.
Yeah, but you're talking about getting a star player who's going to make a huge impact. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for somebody to play defense. Can we get a defensive player?
To make a whole defense
right now or not?
Those guys don't exist.
Give them a shot. Just give them a shot. Anybody.
They do exist, but they all go top 5 in the draft.
Oh, my God. If you could look AJ Klein in the eyes right now, if there was not a contract, he'd be out on the freaking street.
I got a good idea.
Football, period.
You don't have to give up anything. You can sign Lonzo today. He comes in. He knows the defense already. How about that?
Yeah.
Lorenzo
Alexander back. That would be great, but it's not trending in that direction right now.
He helps your run defense, but again, he plays. He doesn't play. I mean, we play nickel. We're a base nickel defense, and Lorenzo Alexander is not. He's not
defensive end, right?
Right. But neither is Klein, so I guess he could still. I mean, what I'm saying?
Special teams.
No. God, I mean, it's rough out there right now. It just sucks. But we could get into the Bills, and we're going to talk about them ad nauseum tonight because that's what we do. But let's keep it 100. We're gonna go to the next topic here, And Dolphins beat the Rams. Tua goes 12 of 22 for 93 yards and a touchdown. Eric, let's start with you on this one.
Okay.
And then Anthony and I'll close it out on that one. What do you think of Tua's performance from Sunday?
I mean, I thought it was subpar. I mean, look, I don't know if you watched the game. I watched a little bit of it, and it was like a lot of fluke plays. That Dolphins defense is going to be elite. They might not be there yet, but I think they will be.
It already is.
And we might be seeing early signs of that now, but I'm not willing to crown them elite right now. But they're definitely well coached, making things happen, a lot of talent. As far as Tua goes, you're so far behind. 50% for less than 100 yards. That's just not enough.
I mean, it is his first game, though. Starting.
Let's talk about Joe Burrow's first game. 3 of his 4 first starts were 300 yards passing.
Or even
okay.
Herbert has 9 touchdowns in 4 games. I mean,
no, it's true. And
you're so far behind. And you went to the big time school. Okay, he didn't play at the Oregons. He played at the Alabamas.
I'm not a Tua. Y'all know I'm not vibing with Tua.
I'm not a Tua guy.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, he certainly didn't put himself on the map with this game. I agree. It's the Dolphins defense. And by the way, in the preseason, when I was talking fantasy, one of the things I said was, don't take the Dolphins defense to start the season, but about halfway through, when they start to click and they get their reps, this is a defense to be reckoned with, and they really are. I mean,
for sure.
And they're special. They scored a defensive touchdown. They scored on a return touchdown. They were up big, and the Ravens just couldn't come back, and they had a lot of turnovers as well. I mean, you can't win a game like that. Remember, Miami was coming off the bye too, which does help you. You have time to prepare for that next team. But Tua certainly wasn't the reason they won this game. He didn't do crap. It's nice that you get to win your debut. Congratulations. But he certainly didn't do anything to impress.
Well, he didn't. I don't think he was.
Imagine this for a second, though. That Miami team with Justin Herbert right now. Imagine that. How different that record would look, in my opinion. Because you don't have to do much with that Miami team to win games.
No, you don't.
The impact that could have on the Bills. I mean I think they missed it. They should have took Herbert, in my opinion. I said that before the draft. I always liked Justin Herbert. But
it's the Chan Gailey offense, which is why I said, I knew all along they were picking Tua. He's the guy for that.
Right. It fits now, short-term view. But every time you draft somebody top 5, you got to go long-term view. Can you get 10 to 12 years? And it looks like, that's Joe Burrow and Herbert. And I get it. It's Tua's first start. We'll give him some slack there, but I just haven't been sold yet. I need to be wowed for him to be somebody I believe can be even a 5-year starter in the league.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I like Justin Herbert. I mean, I'm surprised by his progress, but Tua, one of the things I noticed in the game was that, they did everything right. He had help from the defense. He had help from, the special teams. I mean, he really didn't have to do much, so they didn't really ask him or need him to do that much, right? But one of the things that I've said about Tua, and I'll keep this here, is that he lacks arm strength. He can't get the ball to the edges, to the sidelines. I think he struggles in that area. He gets the ball out quick. He's smart. He can read a defense, but I think his arm strength is going to be a problem. I don't see him consistently hitting those deep outs. Because you have to be able to do that in this league, right? Because defenses are going to force you to have to do that. So, he's going to have some. I think he's going to have some issues moving forward. But I think his ceiling is probably Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's not a bad quarterback. He's going to have some great games. But let's see.
We say that now. Let's go back early in Ryan Fitzpatrick's career. He's the luckiest quarterback in NFL history. Every single team he went to, starter goes down for some reason.
I mean, but when he comes in, he plays. He plays good. He plays well enough. He's a good, decent quarterback, right?
And he's got the it factor, which is what I've talked about with Tua for a long time. He is a leader. There's no question he's going to give you everything he's got, and he's going to, win. He can win games that way. We'll see.
Not a believer.
Hey, Lone Wolf says, Eric, you sound like you think Tua is the next Darnold. What?
I mean,
what is Darnold? What is
Darnold with this Miami team is more dangerous, in my opinion. Think about Chan Gailey's offense, quick slants. That's Darnold. making play. I mean, that would be a good fit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It might.
We ain't got to worry about that. Hey, we ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, you're right, Gordon, man. You
might
can't.
when
You can't coach arm strength. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. But
when Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, Darnold will be available. Who's to say he's not a free agent and Miami swoops him up?
Dude, Miami's not going to take him, dude. He's going to go to Indianapolis. Let's be real here.
Tua breaks his hip.
Well, what about Dak? Dude, Dak could go.
Damn, dog, are you like a voodoo doctor? You hold the Tua dog? You're just like,
yeah. All Bills rivals. Just
dang, Eric, man, you taking no prisoners tonight on that.
This is a new Buffalo Bills team in a new decade. Okay, we need to top this division. We got a lot of catching up to do.
My man's taking no prisoners. I got a good one for you guys. Here we go. You ready? Is Lamar Jackson cooked? Now, this is one that, hey.
Go ahead.
Is he done? I mean,
joys of the live show. You get to see my immediate reaction. What do you mean done? Done.
He just not. Done, he was. I mean, MVP last year, the darling of the league, Madden cover guy.
Come on, now is he?
And he just ain't getting it done this year. And I know the Ravens have a winning record.
Living up to the hype is different than done. Living up to the hype, he could never do.
Okay,
and I did not expect that from him. I picked 100% of the way the Steelers to win this division, the Steelers to be better than Baltimore, and Baltimore to lose in the first round of the playoffs. So I'm not on the Baltimore train, but Lamar Jackson is still a good quarterback in this league. He still has weapons. He can run. He can do things that, probably 70% of the league wishes they had Lamar Jackson at quarterback. So done is a little extreme for me. Not living up to expectations 100%. There's no way he could have.
To me, the same thing.
To me, there's no way he could have.
Look at it this way. Last year, we go in thinking, well, at the end of the year, you're thinking bona fide superstar franchise quarterback. The way he's playing, and this is a guy that's 0-2 in playoff games, right? He hasn't won a playoff game. And now you look at what he's doing on the field. I mean, they have a great defense. And you need to be able to win because of the quarterback, not just running the football, but there has to be a point in time where his arm, he can't take over games when it's close or they're behind. He's
good teams, right? Like they crushed Cleveland, but Cleveland sucks, right?
He's great when everything's going well for him. Yeah. But when you need Lamar Jackson to pull it out with his arm, it seems that he can't do it, and he hasn't shown that since he's been in the league. So to me, if you're a quarterback and you can't effectively throw the ball, that's a problem.
We were saying that last year when everybody was all hyped about him. We're like, the guy can't throw the ball more than 10 yards. He can't throw the ball on the outs.
Well, I don't think he has to. That Baltimore team is
that's
built
not
to
what
be
they
ahead.
Do.
But when they get behind, they play good teams like Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
We're beating them up for losing to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is an elite team. That defense is
for sure.
But
they're not.
We've seen this. We've seen this.
They've lost other games. They're not.
We've seen this from Lamar Jackson. It's a consistent trend that we're seeing.
Yes.
I mean, look at his stats.
To who? Thanks to who?
About the individual. I think you got to pull him out of Baltimore.
No, you don't.
Well, it's the entire offense.
He is the.
His success is related to a great offensive line, great defense, great coach, one of the better teams in the league. Put him on Buffalo. Do they win a playoff game last year?
No.
Nah.
You don't think they beat the Texans with Lamar Jackson last year?
No. Nope.
No, because Josh Allen can do things different than Lamar Jackson can. Long term, I'd rather have Josh Allen than Lamar Jackson. I've been saying that all along. I've been saying that all along. The Baltimore team is built around Lamar Jackson. This is his best case scenario, period. Right? There's nowhere else he could go that he's going to have a better situation than he does there. The team is built around him. And my point earlier that I was going to make is the team that shut down Lamar Jackson is Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills. Because ever since that game last year against the Bills, the defense figured it out. Lamar Jackson was throwing for 1,000,000 yards a game. And then all of a sudden he came to Buffalo. They won that game. Baltimore did. Buffalo lost. Yeah, but we shut down Lamar Jackson, and Tennessee saw that, and they beat him. And now this year you're seeing the same thing. They're learning how to attack Lamar Jackson. He has not been the same since the league figured out how to play against him.
He hasn't shown that he can adjust. If you throw Lamar Jackson's thing is if you're throwing between the numbers and the hashes, he can complete those passes, right? But the problem is they've taken everything deep, and he hasn't been able to hit the deep ball, right? And you got to have his wide receivers, Marquise Brown, coming out talking shit on Twitter or Instagram and having to take it off. Because look, dude, I mean, you can do all that running, but eventually the NFL is going to catch up to you, and you have to be able to adjust and improve. I just haven't seen it yet. And if I was a Baltimore Ravens fan, I'd be a little concerned because, I mean, Michael Vick was great, but he had to learn how to become an effective passer. He didn't learn how to do that till later in his career. And Michael Vick is in my opinion, is a much better passer than Lamar Jackson, right? Definitely. So I just think that, there's cause for concern. I think now it's time to be like, okay, it's a gimmick offense. It's Greg Roman. I mean, we've seen this. We've seen this with Kaepernick.
Yeah,
Kaepernick was a better passer. Right? Well, he never had Greg Roman. He never had Greg Roman.
Right, Cam came out hot, and they built the offense around Cam in Carolina, and he had a couple great years, but he couldn't hold it together long term. I think you'll see something similar to Lamar. Year 5, year 6, start falling off, right?
For sure.
But we don't know yet. He's not Cam, and I think we got to see him win a playoff game with his arm. And then maybe we change our opinion, but we're not going to know that. But they'll be in the playoffs. We'll have the opportunity to see that. But that's the monkey on his back.
He's still going to be a good quarterback. I never expected him to live up to the expectations of MVP and come in this year and light the world on fire again. Although a lot did. Most of the analysts in the preseason picked Baltimore to win it all and picked them to get to the AFC Championship game at the least. Definitely picked them to win the division. And then it's like, what, you're writing off the Steelers, whose defense is geared to beat a team like this and a guy like Lamar? He'll be all right, but he's not going to be that elite talent level, that he was last year.
I got to see him improve. I got to see him be able to effectively every blade of grass. You in today's NFL, you have to be able to attack every seam, every blade of grass. And if you can't do that, you're going to have issues. Defenses are changing philosophies, and it's a much faster NFL. I mean, you're going to have to be able to adjust. I mean, as a quarterback, that's your main responsibility, and a coaching staff is to adjust to what's going on. So if you want to be a top 5 quarterback, you got to do better. And right now he's kind of stuck in this. Have we seen the best of Lamar Jackson? We probably have seen his best that he's going to offer you in the NFL.
But I think his season last year is hard for anyone to top, right? It's hard to make that the standard. We want to see more from him, but last season was so unique. It was such a fresh offense. Right. Now there's film, like we already mentioned, and team scheme against that. And it makes it way harder year in, year out. So you have to adjust every single year. It's just, all I'm saying is it's hard to compare last year to this year with Lamar. It's just a lot harder right now.
I don't think so. I think it's the same thing. I mean, every team battles with adversity. You're going to lose personnel. You're going to, there's going to be stuff. Here's a great question. Does Lamar have enough weapons? Yeah. I mean, he has enough weapons. I don't think he has like a dominant number 1 wide receiver. But
he's had a great running game.
But again, if there's things that you can't throw, what's having the receivers that you have right now are kind of frustrated with you. So what's giving him a Stephon Diggs or Julio Jones? I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. It's something to keep an eye on, but we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Lamar Jackson. But it's always interesting to talk about, though. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Now, Anthony, I'm going to get you to talk about this one first. But what I want to do, it says Pat's dynasty is over. Bill says we sold out and won 3 Super Bowls. But I want to read the exact quote. This is from last week from WEEI in Boston. Okay, this is what it says. It says Patriots coach Bill Belichick got defensive when asked about his comments from a Sirius XM radio interview last week, citing the salary cap for his team's depth issues. He says, I didn't say it as an excuse. I never said that, Belichick said. Look, we paid Cam Newton $1 million. It's obviously we didn't have any money. It's nobody's fault. Think about that. That's what we did the last 5 years. We sold out and won 3 Super Bowls, played in the 4th and played in the AFC Championship game. This year we have less to work with. It's not an excuse, it's just a fact. How does that rub you guys when you hear Bill Belichick say that? Because I've never seen nor have I heard him echo such sentiment in an interview. Like, he's always been kind of on top.
Well,
man.
I think it's safe to say right now that Bill Belichick has reached a new low, right? He's probably angry, upset, depressed more than he's ever been during an NFL season. I know the same Bill Belichick we see is the we lost a game, we're on to the next game, and that's usually all we see. But right now, he's in panic mode, right? We talked about it on the last show about him versus Tom Brady. They separated, and Tom Brady's doing quite well, and Bill Belichick is falling on his face right now with this team. He thought he could do it without him, or he would have retired. That's probably what he's thinking to himself. Shit, I should have retired and not played this season without Tom Brady, because now I look like an idiot. And so I think what we saw was a candid moment of him being emotional, being defensive, right? He's like, hey, who cares if we suck this year? We just won 3 Super Bowls and we went to the AFC Championship game and we were still good. Yeah, but now you're built. That's in the NFL, you have that choice, right? Look at the New Orleans Saints. You can choose to go all in and for a couple of years be very good and at the top of the league, and then totally rebuild because you're $80 million over the salary cap, and you can't do that, right? So it's right. Just and now that's the situation that the New England Patriots are in. They were sustainably good for a long time for one reason and one reason only. Tom Brady played for pennies. If Tom Brady wanted to get the contract he deserved, he would have been paid $50 million before anybody else ever was. And now, the Patriots are realizing that they had that sustainability because they had $30 extra million on the books from their quarterback getting paid nothing. So, I mean, it's not surprising that they are in this situation. I think it's odd of him to make this assumption and say, or make this statement and say, put it out there and say, oh, we went all in before and now we're not planning. You're the GM. Your job is to plan for 3 years from now. That is your job. It's the coach's job to get that team to win now. Not the GM. The GM's job is to sustain that winning ability.
I wouldn't take anything away. What they did in the past, whatever it was, it worked. You can't take those Super Bowls away. You can't take the championship away.
No.
I'll take cap for the success they've had. I'll have one bad year, no problem. But I think the biggest difference is you had Tom Brady. Your system worked because you had Tom Brady. You could bring in other talent because you had Tom Brady. And how many times does he bail them out? Say this all the time, Tom Brady wins that game last week, no doubt about it. That's a different record with Tom Brady, no doubt. God. But now, because you mismanaged Tom Brady is the real question here. Now you are a mortal team just like everyone else without a quarterback. You're looking for a quarterback, and they are not guaranteed. If you draft one early, 50% chance you're going to hit one. And you're never going to get another Tom Brady. It's impossible odds to think you're going to get somebody like Tom Brady in free agency, in the draft. Look, there's teams who've been looking for quarterbacks for years and just can't find them. Chicago, Denver. I mean, and now New England is in that category. You don't just get a quarterback on demand. You have to plan. You have to go all Brandon Beam mode and plan, years down the road. So, 2023 maybe would be a good idea to go get a quarterback for them. Build up your draft picks, trade up, try to get the number 1 pick.
See, here's the deal. Yeah, we could say it worked. It did get them 3 Super Bowls, right? But the problem is that look at the draft history. That's the proof in the pudding. And if you want to be just a coach, be just a coach. But when you want to wear both hats, you're the coach and the GM, that's where it's a problem for me, because don't make excuses now, because you're the one that took N'Keal Harry. You're the one that took Sony Michel. I mean, I can go right down the list, right? You are the one at the end of the day making those decisions. Now
they also took Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay, great. But what is Jimmy Garoppolo though?
Well, I mean, but that was a plan.
But what is he though? But what is Jimmy
Yeah,
Garoppolo?
you're acting like
He's not a franchise quarterback.
I get
He's
it,
not a
but, like,
franchise quarterback.
Nick Mullins came in and played better than him. So
what I'm saying is they are aware that this is an issue in the league. If you don't have a quarterback, you're screwed.
But you're the coach and the GM. It is your job to sort that out, right?
But what I'm saying is, whatever they did these past few years, they screwed up a lot because now you're in, quarterback no man's land.
Yeah.
It's not the same Cam. I don't think you can ride with him for multiple seasons.
They're not going to keep him.
Look. Yeah. Every team, you gotta take your medicine at some point. And for 20 years, they haven't even opened the damn medicine cabinet. Yes. And now they're looking at it like, okay, what do I take here? This, and it's they're shell shocked. They don't know what to do. You got players that just seem defeated. They knew what was coming when they came to Buffalo last week. They knew what was coming. Hey,
it feels good.
It feels great.
Get real.
It feels great.
Good.
It feels great. It feels great.
When you have people coming to your team, big free agents and stuff that are taking a pay cut to come play for you. I mean, obviously that speaks to Belichick and what he was able to build and do there, but you're getting a discount. You're getting off. The rest of the league doesn't have that luxury, and now you're screwed and you don't have that anymore.
Yeah, and I feel like, Sunday was like VE Day.
Yes,
the war's really over. Was. Hitler's dead, and we get to celebrate.
Yeah, hey, he gone.
But like, where's this money going though? Like all this cap issues. Like I get their secondaries highly paid. We have to get Greg on here to find out what's going on with their cap though. I know Tom. They had a lot of dead money with Tom.
Yeah, I think they were paying him that Kraft cheese money, bro. Brady's been getting that bag. I don't know why people think that he was just this humble. I'm just gonna take less. Hey, Kraft was writing him some checks, in the alley, bro, like off the cuff.
Right. Be in our commercials for $10 million.
The thing is, they have a lot of players that have been with the team for a long time
because they're winning. Hell, wouldn't you want to be?
But none of them are on rookie deals anymore. They're all on second or third contracts, and that gets expensive. It adds up if you keep a bunch. Of guys
well, they had that luxury, but now they don't. Right? The cap Grim Reaper has come, and he's going to kill somebody on that team.
Hey, he's taking souls.
He's taking souls.
Yeah, and now that's
the job of a GM. I mean, you don't see problems happening like that. If the first franchise I could think of that I thought of was Baltimore, right? They are a franchise that sustains good football playing, right? They are built to. We're not going to sign somebody to a crazy huge deal because we want to keep winning. We're not going to find a franchise quarterback, although maybe they have in Lamar Jackson now, at least for the next 5 years. We're not going to pay somebody $40 million a quarterback. We're going to draft the next one and let that guy go. Same thing with the stars they've had on defense. They have an amazing train of good defense players coming through there, right? Like when one goes, all of a sudden they've got the next guy ready and they draft the next guy that they train. That is sustained. That's building your team for sustainability.
It is.
Bill Belichick has never done that. Never. He's never has like the next guy trained. He's been good at finding the replacements and who to get rid of and picking. And again, getting lucky because guys come on a discount because they want to win a Super Bowl, and it is what it is, but they don't have that right now.
Again, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It got them some chips. However, but you mentioned Baltimore. The difference is Baltimore drafts well.
Yes,
Ozzie Newsome was one of the best GMs of all time.
Total opposite approach.
So, and that's how you sustain success. It's through the draft.
And I guess if you're asking me, I would rather have that process than we went all in and look, we got 3 Super Bowls or whatever. That's some bullshit right there, and you know it. So it's not about that. Yeah,
it is for sure.
According to Spot Track, to answer Lone Wolf's question, Tom Brady left them with $13.5 million in dead money.
How much is that?
Ouchie.
13.5
dead money. That's a big cap number, and that's going into 2021 when the cap is going to be down.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not overwhelming, but it's definitely significant. That's a player that's not on the team.
That's huge for dead cap.
That's a full contract. So, but end of the day, they're going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be bad until they find a quarterback. End of story.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
What did Tom do last night? What did Tom do last night? Bailed his team out again.
Ay.
My God.
Wow.
They were down early.
Giants.
You know,
hey,
the system was Tom, and Tom is the system. That's what it looks like right now.
Yeah, but
we'll see long term. But
let's keep it moving. All right, let's keep it moving. So we are on our next segment, Inside Slant. Y'all already know what it is. Hey, we're deep diving into our Buffalo Bills news. And I didn't put this as a topic for tonight's show, but I guess we can go ahead and throw it in there. The Bills did sign Daryl Worley and linebacker. What's that dude's name? Darren Lee. Worley is another guy from the damn Carolina Panthers. I mean,
whatever you're doing is working, though. Like I'm done knocking this Panther strategy.
No, I'm not done.
Again, the Bills are 6-2 in a great position to win the division.
Not because of Panthers players, fool.
No.
Hell no. Go
whatever
get
they're
Luke
doing,
Kuechly.
Working.
Call up Luke and be like, bro, get him here, and then I'll be happy about the Carolina.
He's got to work out a little bit first.
You know they had that conversation.
Do we know? Do we know?
Yeah, we know.
He probably calls him every week and says, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
They're talking to Cam Newton right now.
Yeah.
Why?
Next year, yeah. But I this is they brought in those guys. They're not world beaters or anything. This isn't going to change the momentum huge, make it big splashes or anything. But I'm okay with signing these guys to your practice squad. We're not talking about
he's gonna play.
This was the big free agent signing or whatever. And well, it's okay because especially in COVID times, he does know the system. He is familiar. So now midseason, that makes sense because you don't have the time to train him. And in this past offseason, I think they were preparing for COVID in that way, saying we should bring in these guys because they will know the system. They are familiar with us, and that might get us off to a better start than everybody else who's getting up to speed with a new team. So I'm okay with that signing and that move. And we definitely need a linebacker depth. So bring in anybody. Like I said earlier in the show, shoot, a warm body at this point is better than AJ Klein.
Darren Lee is an upgrade over AJ Klein already.
Yes. To start him, put him out there. Anybody.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Darren Lee's got speed, but that's about it. I don't think he's ever broke a block in his life in the NFL.
Okay, no, he's good he's decent in pass coverage. He's not good in the run game, but he does have a high football IQ. Now, I know I've been watching Darren Lee just because I'm a Michigan fan and they used to kick Michigan's ass at Ohio State all the damn time. And for those of you out there, Harbaugh is not the answer for Michigan, but we can go into that. Hit me on Twitter for that one. But Darren Lee, he's serviceable at best, right? Hell, at least, when you watch AJ Klein, and we talked about him, and we'll put him to bed here, but he knows where to be, but his body just can't seem to. He can't get there.
It's the same reason Kiko Alonso's being thrown around the league. Smarts are there. He wants it. He just doesn't have the size.
I'll take Kiko.
Just don't have it.
Give me Kiko right now. I'll take him. Hell, I even still have his jersey, so I'll put that bitch on right now. But I'll take him. He's better than AJ Klein.
I was just about to say again.
He's better than Andre Smith.
Better than AJ Klein. Period.
But call Luke Kuechly, and then I'll be happy about a Carolina Buffalo connection. Get that guy in here. Hell, get him in here as a linebackers coach too. Hell, I don't care. Bring in Luke Kuechly. It's probably not going to happen. He's probably really done, but it sure as hell will be nice. I'm kind of tired of the Carolina Buffalo connection. I know a lot of fans are tired of seeing it. Daryl Worley, it's nice that he knows the system, and he was drafted in 2016. He played his best ball with Sean McDermott in his defense. Let's see if he can come in, and we need. If y'all can get Taron Johnson off the field, my guy's getting cooked all the time, bro. I can't handle it. Taron Johnson is he ain't playing good. He can't cover a damn. He can't cover nothing.
The entire defense.
Did they throw the ball?
The entire defense did not show up to play New England.
I wouldn't say that.
Right.
I wouldn't say that.
They didn't throw at him.
Jermaine Evans played a damn good game. Justin Zimmer and Oliver played a good game.
They played a good game.
Justin Zimmer made the play that counted. Again, I've talked about this. We talked about this on the show before. It's homer ball on defense. I'm sick of that shit. Play defense. That's your job.
Hey, they are improving.
And here's the problem.
D is improving.
Yes, they may have been trending in the right direction, but this is the worst team offensively we've played all year. The Jets teams had better players on them when we played them than this team, and we played the Jets with Sam Darnold. This is Cam Newton, who was playing the worst football, coming into this game of his career by far, and probably one of the worst in the league. And they had 3 guys at wide receiver who you couldn't know if you picked them out of a hat. Like, Jonathan Smith is one of the wide receivers for New England today because they're so injured. And those guys torched us. I'm like, why the fuck is nobody Smith over here catching passes?
Yeah,
are you kidding me? You're an NFL player, a starter for this team, and you're letting them run and beat you up like that? Get the hell off the field.
Can you get a better name than nobody
Smith and James whatchamacallit out there catching passes, scoring touchdown? Like, what?
Yeah.
21 points. They scored 21 points.
These damn English Amish names, dog.
Yeah.
All these
like Josh McDaniels pulled. Josh McDaniels pulled everything out on that one too. He was trying everything.
Catch the ball, just got a touchdown pass for God's
sake. Hey, I mean, he's kind of right though. I mean, they really didn't have much
garbage
in that game.
Yeah. Garbage.
Really however, it's still Bill Belichick, and he's still a damn good coach, right?
Not on offense. You expect him to coach up the defense.
No. It's their coaching staff is really good. I mean, I hate New England with the passion of 1,000 suns, but they still have a good coaching staff. The conditions were not ideal. They were not ideal.
Everything favored New England in the conditions. I will give you that. But still, you got to play defense. You know they're going to run. You don't. Hey, you should be able to beat those guys one-on-one. Period. Then bring everybody in the box and stop the run.
But the problem is the defensive line. It's the defensive line. I mean, you have Ed Oliver's playing out of position, but he's balling. Ed Oliver. For somebody mentioned in comments that Ed Oliver's not playing well. I digress. Dude, that man
hasn't had help around him. Yeah,
he is playing his ass off right now. He's playing out of position because they don't have any. They can't get pressure anywhere else. I mean, you have Mario Addison every now and then, and Jerry Hughes every now and then. But other than that, and then you got Zimmer making a play.
Yeah, Zimmer once in a while. Yeah.
But Ed Oliver's it on that defensive line. So yeah, dude. I mean, they are making sure they're working the hell out of Ed Oliver. They are putting 2 and 3 men on that guy. And he's still getting pressure on the quarterback. So Ed Oliver is actually playing really, really well.
So
Tremaine Edmonds is getting better each week, which is a good sign.
He's hurt. We know
that. Milano's back too. That helps a ton.
Matt Milano's still not playing enough snaps. AJ Klein was out there 80% of the game, for God's sake. Terrible. But Milano's still hurt. Edmonds is hurt. That does hurt us, obviously.
Well, Micah Hyde being out too.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't have Hyde. That's not good. But again, versus that offense, anybody on our team should have been able to stop those guys, but they couldn't. And it was embarrassing to watch a lot of it. Long third downs, and it's like, are you kidding me?
This is definitely a Sean McDermott thing because now it's been 3 years I've noticed this. Like Mike Tyson's such a good boxer. You don't have to come down to the level and play me in Madden. Because if I beat Mike Tyson in Madden, I'm gonna really celebrate, right? But he doesn't have to do that. McDermott always wants to get on the level of Bill Belichick and try to beat him in his own game. Let's run the ball 40 times. It's like you don't have to.
No, you don't. You
don't have to get in the trenches with this team. You got a good passing game. I get their secondary is really good, but he always wants to get on their level and beat the team at what they're good at. That's what it feels like.
It was frustrating to watch, to say the least. And this is what I mean when they come out in the post game and they don't make a trade and they say we're happy with the guys we got. Excuse me. We think we're going to do well. We're going to keep on improving. I look at that and I say, what the hell tape are you watching? Who are you going to put out there? Do you know something I don't know? Is Tremaine Edmonds' shoulder or whatever it is suddenly going to heal and he's going to play 100% like he did last year? Is Matt Milano suddenly invincibly going to play the rest of the season no matter what? You're telling me you can't get a linebacker that you're trusting Lee to come in and be that guy now and make a trade, do something at least. You have to look yourself in the mirror and know what you are. And that is what is missing here. Look yourself in the mirror and say, we need linebacker depth. We're not good enough at linebacker. We need
how are they going to do
cornerback, whatever it is.
No one's available.
It's tough. It's tough. This trade deadline presented a lot of issues just because, I mean, we know the salary cap is being heavily reduced this next year. Teams are valuing draft picks because they want cheap labor, right? So, yeah, I mean, you're going to see some surprising names hit the free agent block this year. And I'm thinking that Brandon Beane's just like, look, hey, I'm gonna ride it out. We're gonna stack the pieces that we want, very strategically. Everything that this franchise does is very methodical. So looking back from the outside looking in, it makes sense that the Bills didn't do anything. But from a fan's point of view and just wanting that quick fix and so forth, yeah, dude, it's like the fan in me says, yeah, dude, you could have got Dalvin Tomlinson probably if the Giants were offering him like it was rumored. You could have got him.
I think the Giants are building something there. It's finally starting to show signs. I don't think anyone's for sale.
Did you see Daniel Jones?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't great, but I mean, they're definitely building something.
He wasn't good either.
Well, they came back against Tampa Bay. He had them right there.
With Tampa Bay. Look, Tampa Bay is the most talented team in the league. It's not even close. You can make the argument the Giants are the least talented team.
Now you guys say that.
No, I mean, I was going to say, remember what I said.
Because they're competing with them, and that shows good coaching.
But the thing
right?
with the Giants
Miami does this. Sean McDermott did it for 17.
I gave a whole speech on the show when we picked the Tampa Bay Giants game, and I said exactly what I'm going to say now, that the Giants, every year they do this, right? Every year they play amazing against some team that they should have gotten blown out by. That was Tampa Bay this year. And then when they play a team they should beat, like their own division this year, who's absolute garbage, they lose. They don't show up. They can't get it done. That is the Giants in a nutshell. They're a good roster for sure. A lot of them guys on that offense can ball, right? And Daniel Jones, he's not proven anything yet, but he certainly looks okay, decent quarterback. But yeah, I mean, that's the Giants. They're going to look great in one game, look terrible the next game.
Yeah. I mean, and there's so much parity in the NFL, it's really hard to and it's any given Sunday, right? I mean, these teams are talent-wise, I mean, yeah, you have teams that are much better than others, but when the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a talent gap. So, I mean, these are all professionals. But anyway, I mean, it's something to look at, man. I just think Dave Gettleman, I'm not a fan of how he manages his roster. I mean, it's been proven that he's not a good GM. And so I don't know what the plan is. Outside of the Bills, in New Jersey, there's not a plan for either one of those teams right now.
Well, the plan is to get the number 1 and 2 pick, I think. That should be the plan.
How many years are you going to do that?
Exactly. I joked with my friend.
Ask Cleveland how long it takes.
Yeah, right. I joked with my friend who's a Jets fan. I'm like, well, at least you're going to get Trevor Lawrence, and you could screw him up too. I mean, draft him too, because that's what they do. How many first and second round draft picks have they now gotten rid of? How many top 10 draft picks have they now gotten rid of? You can't do that and win.
Rough. It's rough, son. It's rough. It's rough. Okay, so here we go. Boom. The run game shows up for the Bills this week. Well, last Sunday. It was great to see. John Feliciano had a much bigger impact than I imagine.
MVP
right?
of the team. Without a doubt. John
last
Feliciano.
week, that boy came in and he laid some fools out, bro.
My favorite play, the second touchdown by Zach Moss. He like bumped him, right? And he literally picked him up and looked like he was throwing him out of the club. He grabbed him by the jersey and just threw him forward into the end zone. Like he was throwing him out of the club. Like, get in that end zone. It was awesome. But John Feliciano made the difference in this game. And here's the thing. We lost. So if you told me coming into this game, obviously we were excited. John Feliciano's coming back. He had such an impact on the team last year. The offensive line wasn't playing well, other than our greatest offensive lineman, Mitch Morse. And then he goes out with an injury. If you would have told Bills fans that, they're like, oh, crap. Morse is out. Feliciano's got to play center. We're in trouble. But he came in, and the whole line played well because of him. He brought that team to the next level, without a doubt. Without him in this game, there's no way we would have won this game.
What was the deal with Ryan Bates? Ryan Bates played center for like one snap.
That was the first snap when he went down. Yeah, I think. And then Feliciano went in.
Okay, that was weird though, huh?
I think Sean McDermott said in an interview that he got a warm-up snap on the sideline or something, and then he went in. So
okay.
Look, Ike Bacher.
He played better this game than he did the last game. But if he's your guard, again, the Bills, if you tell me that going into this game, oh, by the way, you're going to lose Mitch Morris and Ike Bacher is going to play the rest of the game and John Feliciano is going to be your center.
Bacher.
It's like, we're in trouble. Not
Brian
good.
Winters, bro.
But
Hey, they played well, though.
But exactly.
The O-line played great, though.
The banner you put up is the run game showed up, and that was
they played
100%.
Everyone hit their assignment. I mean,
yes, 100%, though, it's John Feliciano. It's not any of them other guys. They played just fine, but they played better because John Feliciano was out there making them play better. So, I mean, he brought that whole play level up.
And like, we haven't even. We're talking about O-line. Let's talk about Zach Moss.
Yeah,
hold on,
he played very well.
Come on,
I'm
run
still
game.
on this O-line kick. I can't get over Ike. Y'all know I don't like Ike Bacher, and he was getting owned. I don't care what PFF.
He's a 10-year bill, though. He's been here since, 17? Makes the team every year.
Who gives a fuck? He ain't doing shit.
Hey, the team went. The team's 6-2. Do
That's
what you got to do.
Him. That's not because of Ike Bacher.
He's part of the team. Whatever they're doing is working.
Oh my God,
6-2, 2 years in a row now.
You sound like everybody gets a trophy guy right now. You
need to be humble, Sterling. You got to get humble.
Why?
What do you want? The team's good.
Some depth on the offensive line at guard. There's nothing wrong with that. You trade away
Bacher,
better guard.
But when Bacher's starting, that means they're at the bottom of their depth right now. And he played okay.
Yeah, I was going to say he played much better this game than he did the last game when he looked like he was should not have been out there at all.
And he's some humble pie.
Nope. Nah, you can even put whipped cream on that shit, and I'm still not forking.
Anyway,
yes, Zach Moss played a great.
Yeah.
You know what? Both of them, Singletary and Moss, played great games.
But Moss, we were comparing him to Frank Gore and taking that role. No, that was wrong.
Yeah.
That was wrong for sure. This dude's got moves. He has some great moves in that game. He's fast for how big he is. He's a fast dude. And you saw it, though. We saw it for once, right? We've seen a play here, play there. This is a full game from him.
You know what?
Been waiting to see that.
I've been saying this. I sound like Anthony. I've been right about this the whole damn year. But it's how they use him. We saw stretch runs and so forth. That's how you get these guys in space. Zach Moss. Now, I'm not comparing him to Derrick Henry, but Zach Moss is one of those guys where if you get him going, he's hard to bring down. But the problem is if you're running him out of these formations that don't get him going, he's not going to be successful. Those two guys need the ball in space, right? And we saw what that looked like. John Feliciano was a big part of that, and I think that hopefully this is the balance in the offense that the Bills are needing to make the passing offense better and to make the overall offense more dangerous. So now, going in, these weeks moving forward, you should be able to have an identity in the run game. You're getting some of your nastiness back. Cody Ford does bring an element of that nastiness. Now, he's not polished yet, but he's better than Ike Bacher.
And we don't know when we're getting him back, though.
Right.
Cody
Hopefully
Ford.
in a couple weeks.
And Morse, too. He has the concussion. Now, that's completely unknown. He's had concussion issues in the past. So we don't know. He could be back Sunday or it could be a few weeks with him. But once we get both of those guys back, and Feliciano, again, the key is Feliciano for me. He proved it. Without those two, Feliciano got the job done.
Yeah.
With those two and no Feliciano, it didn't look so good out there. So
yeah, Zach Moss is faster than Devin Singletary. Zach Moss probably runs like a 4.5, 4.6.
What kind of fast here though? Like top speed? Are we talking short bursts?
Yeah, neither one of them are really
they're kind of different. Singletary is he's quick twitch, kind of. He has a lot of agility. Yeah, Moss brings you that power and more of a straight line speed.
What's the scouting term for that?
For what?
Like short term speed. Like you think Kyler Murray,
short area quickness,
like Ruggs, right? Kyler Murray is first. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he has it. He has some of that, but Zach Moss doesn't wow you with any particular thing, maybe his power. But other than that, I mean, he could do a lot of things. He could do things well, I guess. So we'll see.
What's a phone booth?
What's the phone booth? Hey, Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy, Barry Sanders.
Right, there you go.
Booth.
That's a good scouting term right there.
There you go.
Clicking a phone booth, whatever that means.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. But it was cool to see that those guys they balled out, man. Hopefully that is what we have moving forward. But it was cool to see.
I said this a lot in the offseason. You know, 3 of the teams in the championship games last year were power run. Right. Think about Green Bay with Aaron Jones, you know, San Francisco and Tennessee.
Right.
So I was looking for the Bills to build a running game. You know, that's what I want to see. And this was an effective running game for 4 quarters. Can we say that?
Yes.
So I mean, this is good to see. I feel like they were kind of hiding this game plan, saving it for New England. But for them to come out and execute, I mean, that's a sign of a team that's going to succeed in the postseason.
I know we're going to save our the preview of the Seattle game for our Friday show. But I will say that if we can get the run game going like that, we're going to need it to beat Seattle on Sunday, because the name of the game there is all about possession. You have to assume Seattle's going to score on every play, on every drive that they have the ball. With our defense, you have to assume they're going to get points. So we need to get more points than them. And in order to do that, you have to control and possess the ball. And if you can run the ball, that's going to open things up, and you're going to expect to score on every drive. So I think that's going to be huge for us going into this game.
Because that brings up the next topic.
I didn't know that. Sorry, my bad.
See, there you go. Yeah. So, I mean, this is going to be a damn good game. The Seahawks have a worse defense than the Bills.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
Way bad.
Yeah, these guys, they can't cover a damn basket with a blanket right now. But Russell Wilson bails them out. And y'all remember that one period in time where I was all in on the DK Metcalf train. Eric, you would recall that.
I love DK.
Yeah.
I'm gonna toot my own horn again.
He wants to take him at 10 or 9. It was 9.
Hell yeah.
No.
He's a generational talent. Look at it. Is he not?
He's definitely got those.
It's the second year. He's good. Damn good.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely generational, right? He has that ability.
Yeah, you can't deny it.
They still have a medical.
For the Bills, Ed Oliver fit the bill, so to speak. However,
can we play 10 years?
DK Metcalf, yeah.
But with his medical,
broke his neck in college.
I mean, that is something. Though.
Look, you can like DK Metcalf and like Ed Oliver too. Okay, you don't have.
I was all over. Metcalf was definitely somebody whose name I wanted the Bills.
But why would you take Metcalf when TJ Hawkinson's right there?
Back to your tight end
Hey,
guy.
we still could have had DK in the second round.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
they did pass
in the third round.
That's where you made the mistake right there. You didn't take him in the second or third round.
I would have taken him in the first round.
Easy piece.
I was that high on DK. But anyway.
To Eric's point, it was medical reason. You know, they clearly, this was a case where teams just said no, right? Like, we're not willing to take that risk. No, I don't care if he's there in the 7th round. We're not.
That's an excuse for them. Look, they were just mad. They were just like, you know, he just
doesn't make them any less
routes.
Wrong. It doesn't make them any less wrong. It does not make them any less wrong.
Yeah, dude.
He's proven them all wrong.
Yeah.
Sure.
Look, and he still doesn't run crisp routes, but he wins in different ways. And that's the thing that sometimes I challenge people that, like, you have to look how, you know, Joe Marino and those guys will tell you, and Scouting Camp tell you got to look how these guys win. And guys win different. It doesn't have to look like everybody else's win. He wins differently. He wins with size. He wins with speed.
And he's so fast for his size. It's definitely unique. It's Randy Moss-ish, if you will. I mean, I'll put him in comparison. But when you're talking about talent,
his comparison is Terrell Owens. But
they put it all together. DK's still young in his career.
Oh, he's young.
Right?
Yeah,
he's getting there.
Yeah, he's good.
But now my question is,
do it back to back.
Do you think Trey White follows him all day?
Has to. You put Levi Wallace on DK?
And I'm not sure about Micah Hyde's availability.
Hey, this is what you're going to see right here. This is what you're going to see. That's what Levi Wallace is going to see as Metcalf runs to the end zone. Peace signs.
Well, the good thing is I haven't seen Seattle run the ball very well this year, which is good for the Bills in the sense that we're pretty horrible against the run so far this year. But they do have elite receivers. And I don't know. Lockett's the one I'm worried about now because DK on Trey, you figure, he's going to make a couple catches. That's what happens. He's good enough to beat Trey once or twice. But who's going to cover Lockett? I mean, he's going to be open every play.
And, Jacob Hollister will have that little play underneath. They run it every game.
Darryl Worley.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Darryl Worley, bring him on. You're on the active roster. Here's Tyler Lockett, by the way.
Hey, screw that 5-day COVID. You can't come on the field stuff. You're playing Sunday, right? No, man. There's nobody who's they're gonna have to have some bracket coverage on for Lockett. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to do the same for DK.
I really hope Hyde is back for this game. That's gonna be.
They do
huge.
Need Micah Hyde.
Hyde and Boyer are gonna be key in defending these receivers.
Milano is gonna be huge in this game.
Oh God,
they're gonna need Matt Milano.
He's played like.
I know.
Healthy,
I think
but he's only playing like 20 snaps. That's not.
The defense
they're gonna ramp him up.
Starters.
They need to ramp him up.
And just like Edmonds, I mean, Edmonds is out there for most of the snaps, almost 100% of snaps, but he's clearly not healthy. Is that going to be the situation with Milano now? Okay, we're going to put him out there, but he's only 75% or whatever. That's
so the biggest question is, how do you confuse Russell Wilson? How do you guard a guy like that who's playing as well as he is?
Yeah.
That's
now he can run. He can also run, right? We have to be ready for that too. You can't just drop in coverage because then if there's something open, he's going to get 10 yards every play.
Yeah, it'll be a nightmare to defend him. I mean, we can hope for bad weather that makes them one-dimensional. And
I honestly think the Bills have to possess. The only way the Bills beat Seattle is if we dominate time of possession. Because they're going to score, and we're probably not going to stop them much unless something crazy happens. Look at his game against Russell Wilson's game against Arizona. He threw 3 bad interceptions. Hell, if he could do that versus us, that'd be great, and I'll take the gift and the win. But our offense has to win the game. It's all on the offense this game. Make sure you possess the ball. Make sure you get first downs. You don't need to bomb it down the field. You can on this team. But the problem with that is, great, you scored a touchdown. Now you've given it right back to Russell Wilson, and they score a touchdown.
Yeah, I think
playing the back and forth game.
But you have to attack. You have to attack.
Oh, you do. You have to.
You can't come in here playing conservative, playing scared. You throw the ball, and be able to run the ball. You got to be able to do both.
Yes. And their defense is so bad. Please, dear God. I said the same thing about Kansas City, and they couldn't get it done versus them. We need to score. We have to score on every drive we have the ball. Period. And we have to make sure we get more touchdowns and field goals on those scoring plays because this team is going to score points.
I don't think we're going to beat Seattle, but I do hope that it's a close game.
It's going to be good.
I need to see Allen. I don't know what the forecast is supposed to be this weekend. I have to check that out.
But right now, I checked it earlier today. It's supposed to be like 60s and sunny, like 60 degrees and sunny.
A November game in Buffalo.
Seriously,
sunny?
It's a weird heat wave in upstate New York right now. Yeah.
Damn.
I'll take
60 and sunny on first November game in Buffalo.
No, we're definitely. So I'm going to start watching my Seattle film tomorrow, and start to kind of get an idea of what to expect. So Friday you want to tune into our show, because I'm going to have some good insight on how the Bills can defend these Seahawks, and I'm pretty sure our guys on the pregame, Greg Tomset and Aaron Quinn are gonna deep dive in that. Also, Eric Turner does great film breakdown, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be bringing that to you guys as well. Also, disguise coverage. He always has great stuff. So we're as we move forward in the week, we definitely will be giving you guys more instant analysis and breakdowns from on what the Seahawks are gonna do and what we expect them to do this coming weekend. But fellas.
This is funny. I had to put that one up. Seattle,
man.
Remember, though, they are flying from the West Coast to Buffalo, a 1:00 game. This is our bread and butter. It's in Buffalo, so there are some advantages here. It's going to be tough to stop that off.
The problem is, it's going to be fun. If Wilson misses the team plane, he'll take Sierra's plane.
Yeah, right. He'll get there.
And he'll show up with swag.
Y'all
don't
know
beat the guy anymore.
What Russell looks like before Sierra. That boy looked like a damn math teacher.
Yeah, right.
Now he's all swagged out with Sierra dancing and shit. So, hey,
we'll have to check it out.
Y'all look him up, bro. That dude got all kinds of swag now. So, anyway, now it's going to be interesting. I don't think the Bills will get a W, but I do expect a damn good game. If you win, surprise me.
It's going to be a close one. I think because it's in Buffalo at 1:00, like Anthony said, they have a real shot.
Yeah.
But it's, you know how it is. And Seattle loves playing this. They love playing in close games and winning the game in the last drive of the game. I mean, that's what Seattle does. They've been doing that for years and years with Pete Carroll, and I don't expect this to be any different. It's going to be a fun one for sure.
But they did lose the game to Arizona, so.
Right, and they drop one here and there.
Oh yeah. No, I mean they're not like unbeatable by any means. I mean you can definitely get some opportunities on them, which I expect them to do. I mean I am enjoying watching the coach staff. We are showing a propensity to adjust, which is great. So shoot, I just hope
defense. I mean again,
well. I mean injuries do play a part in that.
They do absolutely.
And our defensive line is not playing well. A lot of new pieces, and they don't have the right personnel right now. So, but I do see a trend where they are improving. So hopefully that's still the trend moving forward. I don't think they're going to be like last year, but maybe they could take a couple more steps in that direction, and then we're good. We're good.
Well, the Bills' next few games: Seattle at Arizona, and then they got the Chargers at home Monday night at San Francisco. This is kind of the stretch we talked about early in the season, the offseason, that we'll find out what this Bills team.
Well, we have a bye week in there too, but we also Seattle. We just talked about it's going to be a well-fought game. Nobody, I don't think, is predicting a blowout here, at least not by the Bills. And let's say we lose this game. I still think we can win this game. There's no question that we have a chance to win this game. We're going to be in it. It's going to be close for me. But say we lose that game, then after that, we play Arizona. I still think we're the favorites for that game. I still think we win that game. So I think that, that's a split.
What game? We got to flip it on you, Anthony, though, because what game do you think they lose?
Exactly. That's what I was getting to.
He thinks they win every game. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. I just said, if we lose against Seattle, but we win against Arizona, I said coming into the season, there's no team I think that I will walk in saying we're going to lose this game, because I just think our team can compete with any of them, including the Kansas Cities and the Seattles. Yeah. So I think Seattle, if we lose this game, we beat Arizona. San Francisco is not the team that they are, right? They just lost their tight end for Kittle for the 8 weeks, right? So basically the rest of the year he will not be playing against Buffalo. He's hands down their best receiver. They just lost their quarterback for at least 3 weeks. They put him on IR. Not sure when he's coming back, when Garoppolo will be back, but he might miss that game. The Bills game would be the next game after that. Right. So, I mean, they've been hot and cold all year. They're very beatable right now. That was one of the games that I did have as a loss coming in, but now I think that's a very winnable game against San Francisco.
The two teams,
the Pittsburgh Steelers are on the schedule, and that is a game right now that I don't think that's going to be again. I'm not saying, there's no chance we win that game. There is, but to me, that's the other loss that I would definitely, think could happen on that schedule. 12-4 is still the prediction for me. 12-4 still. I look at the schedule and I say I don't know how anybody else could not say 12-4 at this point. So
I think I'll tell you how 11 wins.
You've had two big games where you were challenged by Tennessee, you were challenged by Kansas City,
and
this team didn't show up. And then you play the Patriots, who are 2-5 now, and nobody
barely
they knew they have a good game plan, but they're not talented right now. And
but that plays into my point. The Bills are not playing their best football yet, and they're
still 6-2.
They're
Seattle's a true test for sure. I don't think they
basically have the division locked up now. I mean, Miami's still there, but we're almost undefeated in the division right now. So I mean, it's competitive. It's 12-4. I just don't see how it's not.
Hey, the Bills have yet to get a signature win. They got to.
You're right.
One.
You're right. And Seattle would be that. Seattle would definitely be that. Huge. Put us on the map. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. It's fine.
No, it's an out-of-conference game.
Right. Yes.
I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but, you do
need
to show up. You do need to show up. You do need to show up. So that's about it for tonight's episode of the Hoof Live. By all means, I didn't even say this tonight, but you got to make sure you hoof that like and subscribe, people. I know it's voting day and everybody's doing the election thing. So, I'm not expecting too much in terms of you liking and subscribing. Those of you who are watching the show and those of you who aren't watching the show may catch it later. But when you catch this later, I expect you to like and subscribe. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, by all means, comment. I like to get back to you guys as soon as possible, and we kind of keep that conversation going. That's kind of how we get through the week, get through this 2020, because it's been a little crazy, a little cray-cray this year, as we all know. So it's just our way to keep in touch with you guys, man. But we appreciate all the love and support. Our numbers continue to grow each and every week, and it's amazing. We have so much fun doing this. But interaction is why we do what we do. We love to interact with you guys. You guys make all this possible. So without you guys, we ain't nothing, y'all. But anyways, man, we're gonna sign out here. Anthony, do you have anything that you want to throw in there? And then Eric, and then I'll close out.
Just keep driving, baby. Again, as we get more healthy, we have not seen the best yet from this Bills team. I cannot wait until we do. That's going to be amazing if we can get this team clicking. Defense has got to play better, though.
Eric?
I just want to see, Josh Allen continue to grow. I think he's been on the shelf for a few weeks, but it'd be nice to see a resurrection of the passing game.
All right, and I want to see the defensive line improve and give Ed Oliver some help down there. So we will see what happens as we get closer to Sunday. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the Cover One Network and everything that we have to offer you guys. We are signing off, and we out of here.
Go Bills.